What's up, everybody? Aaron and Abby back with another special edition here. I believe it's our third or fourth at this point, but who's keeping track? Abby, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited about this one. I think that this is a movie that more people should see, and I hope that we can get the word out.
Yeah, it is Jimmy Warden's directorial debut. Yes, that Jimmy Warden who has written such classics as Babysitter 2 and also Cocaine Bear. And now he adds Borderline to the list. Here's the trailer now.
Hello?
I miss you a lot. So by now, the best day of my life, and therefore yours, will be fast approaching. I love you so much, Sophia.
Tonight is the night I'm proposing. We've been through this before. You don't know Sophia.
You're hilarious, Sophia.
I'm ready to be yours forever.
We're gonna be married?
What, are you having second thoughts?
I have a surprise for you.
This is Penny. She's a big fan of yours.
I killed someone.
Look at that! Friends already.
Let's get all units to Cassowary Tabernacle.
JH, put the gun away. What kind of way is that to treat our guests?
Crazy bitch! Oh god. Get out of my house!
That is such bad luck, Sophia. Please help yourself to champagne and first aid.
You put a priest in a box?
No, I put a pastor in a box. We're Protestant.
And that's the trailer for Borderline, a trailer that neither one of us saw before seeing the movie. I saw it talked about a little bit online. Quite a few of the producers are, people who I definitely follow on Twitter, like Brian Duffield is one of the producers and a few others. And it stars Samara Weaving and Ray Nicholson and my guy from Last Black Man San Francisco, Jimmy Fails, who I still think is going to be a star. And I really, just to get out of the way early, I believe both of us like this movie a lot more than at least what I'm seeing on Letterboxd.
Most people already.
I just will go ahead and just put spoilers up. We're not going to go super deep into spoilers here, but in case we happen to reveal something, spoilers. Borderline, first off, is a movie that I didn't really expect to be thinking about more after it than I did. When I was watching it, it's just kind of a fun comedy, but I do think there's a bit of brains behind this one. I like more than it's getting credit for. Starting with the title, Borderline. I do think Ray Nicholson is playing an individual with extreme borderline personality disorder.
Yes, indeed.
And it's not supposed to be played as if it's a documentary or super serious, but at the same point, I think if you're familiar with borderline personality disorder, two big things about it is projection of relationships and acting out to cope with intense emotional feelings, which I would say Ray Nicholson does with spades here. Right off the bat, Ray Nicholson and Samara Weaving are both very good in this movie. Ray Nicholson particularly for me. What did you think about the lead performances and overall the cast?
Yeah, so I thought the cast was really good. I guess backing it up slightly, the whole synopsis, I guess, of
thank
this
you.
movie is because I didn't know what it was going in. I just knew it was a new Samara Weaving movie, whom I love. She's one of like my favorite actresses that's doing horror movies nowadays. So the synopsis is Samara Weaving plays a pop star actress
In the
singer.
90s.
Yes. She's this famous person. Her face is all over the place. And Ray Nicholson plays kind of like a stalker who is convinced in his head that he's going to be marrying her and is going to all lengths basically to get to her, kind of thing. And that's like the very basic synopsis of the movie. And yeah, the cast, I think, is one of like the best parts. I don't think it would work. I mean, it could work with different people in it, but I think everybody did really, really good. Samara Weaving, I mean, she's kind of doing her typical thing. I mean, I would say similar to like Ready or Not, maybe. But if you like her performances in most movies, like more of her comedic movies, I think you'll like her performance here. And then Ray Nicholson, yeah, I only knew of him from Smile 2. I didn't realize he was in a couple of other movies. But he is going to be like everywhere within the next like 1 to 2 years. Like he was really, really good. Like this is another movie that's probably not going to go too far in people's like favorites lists. Very similar to Jenny Penn, which we just talked about. He like these similarly to John Lithgow, like these are two like really, really good performances in two movies that are just going to kind of, I have a feeling they'll disappear, but I don't want them to.
Yeah, I think this could get revisited over time. I could see this, being a good streaming kind of cult hit eventually. There's another performance, Alba Baptista. She plays Penny, who is Paul. Paul is Ray Nicholson's character, basically his second in command here, and she's also incredible.
They meet in prison or something.
Yeah,
they
meet in a mental institution. They break out together. And then Jimmy Fails plays the bodyguard for Samara Weaving's character, who was Sophia. And again, Eric Dane, another guy who you've seen in a bunch of movies. He plays kind of a significant role. Samara Weaving, she's had quite a few of these fun horror movies at this point. And I don't mean fun in like a demonstrative way, which often it gets thrown around. I think these know what they are, but also have a little bit of a point to them. Ready or Not did. Mayhem is another really good one with Stephen Yeun. I think I've heard great things about the Babysitter movies. Now I definitely want to watch them.
The movies have a very similar vibe. Like you can tell that it's the same writer. And even though that this is the director of this movie only wrote the second Babysitter movie, which I know a lot of people like less, it's still a very similar vibe to those movies. And again, the first Babysitter is very good.
Yeah. And I just think that, there's a lot of really interesting moments. The horror elements of the movie, this is why we love horror. I'll be honest, some of the weaker aspects of the movie, there's a lot of cutting away, probably a budget constraint, if I had to guess. And again, that if you've listened to other reviews where I've talked about things we don't see, it doesn't really bother me too much. It was a little bit noticeable though, but I would also call this a comedy horror, if I had to be honest, not a horror comedy.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that with that being said, it's like an interesting kind of reverse home invasion movie where, Paul and Penny break into this giant house with like a recording studio in it and everything. It's just the entire time Paul believes that he's getting married to her. He's having delusions at other points in the movie as it goes.
It gets weird.
He's starting to hallucinate. Jimmy Fails, who's in a dress as Samara Weaving's Sophia. So, it goes for it in the third act. And if you're not invested in this by the third act, I do think the third act's going to fall flat. And it appears a lot of people it has. For me, I really like that. I wasn't getting like emotional. I wasn't getting confused at who to root for. It's not really that kind of movie. It is ridiculous while not making fun, I don't believe, at least.
I agree.
Borderline personality disorder. I think it uses it in a comedic tone, but it's not laughing at borderline, if that makes sense. You know, and I will highlight one scene in the movie. A particular Celine Dion song shows up as Penny is playing the piano and wants a duet with Sophia. And I was like laughing hysterically. I just thought I thought the soundtrack overall in this movie was exquisite. Like they picked some amazing 90s songs. Probably the most capitalized on the time period in the movie. Probably the reason it does take place in the 90s, so they can have all these and have no cell phones. You know, so, but again, I'll allow it because I really did enjoy this movie. I thought it was shot very well as well by Jimmy Ward. I think Warden.
And this is his first time directing also, which I think was pretty impressive. Again, he has experience with writing, but this is his first time directorial debut. So he could definitely go forward and do plenty more things in the future.
Yeah. And, you know, I said to Abby probably 10 times during the movie. I'll say it here once. Ray Nicholson, if you become the next Joker, I'm okay with it because a part of me feels like this was a dry run that show people like, hey, I can be just like my dad, Jack.
This for sure. And then in Smile 2, he has the smile down. Like I could see it happening, whether I want it to or not. I mean, I wouldn't be upset about it, but this is definitely an audition tape.
Yeah, I'm all in on him as the next Joker, just for a side note here. I thought the way he acted, I mean, you know, if Samara Weaving didn't look so much like Margot Robbie, another executive producer of this movie, and if you look at Margot Robbie's production record so far, she's nailing it. So like there's a lot of really impressive people who are behind this movie, and I think it missed an opportunity to come out around Valentine's Day. I think this and Hard Eyes could
have replaced Companion.
Yeah, if only. Don't get me started on Companion.
Just kidding.
Go back to my review. I did, yeah. Anyways, this movie's much better than Companion. Much to the chagrin of Letterboxd.
I don't know about that, but we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I don't think it's even close. But anything else you want to kind of touch on with this movie?
No,
before we move on. I'd rather leave a little bit for discovery because I gotta assume a lot of people watching this haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this movie just didn't connect with some of the people because again, a lot of the early Letterboxd reviews I saw, some of the people who review movies on TikTok weren't huge fans of this movie. I disagree with that. I think that there is an audience for this movie, and I think it can find that audience. Like, I would like to see this movie go.
Yeah, once Ray Nicholson gets casted as Joker, people are going to go back and be like, "Oh, what movie did?" And it will be this one.
The really good end credits too that remind me kind of like the end credits to Pearl in a way, and not to like give that away or anything like that. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good too.
Yeah, and you know, just really quick, you know, one more spoiler. There's just little funny lines that are very subtle and don't draw attention to themselves. He gets in the back of the police car at the end and he's like, never been in a limo before. And this is after he has gotten married to Jimmy Fails, kissed Jimmy Fails in a blue wedding dress, and thought the entire time that it was Samara Weaving, Sophia. Yeah, just in this movie, you know, goes for it at the beginning because it does something I do not like in movies. And I don't know if it needed to be in this movie either. And it shows you the ending of them getting married and then goes back to the beginning. That would be probably my biggest critique. I don't think we needed that.
Yeah, but it's like not as it seems kind of thing.
Yeah, but I still like it didn't do much for me. It's small nitpick though.
I get it. It makes you wonder like how do we actually get to this point? And we find out. It's different.
Yeah. You know, other than that, I do think there's some predictable elements at times, like when they don't show a particular character getting shot in the head.
Oh yeah,
like,
there's
other
Yeah,
things like that.
That was a little bit confusing. There's some like suspension of disbelief I feel that needs to happen
But
for that particular.
But he had a bad eye, so it's okay. So we're gonna get to ratings now. All right, and we are back. I'll let Abby go first. It's a romantic movie, ladies first. Abby, what's your rating?
So for my rating, I was going back and forth between a 3.5 and a 4, and I ultimately gave it a 4 because there were other movies that I saw this year that I gave 3.5, and I'm like, I think that I'd rather watch this one over those movies. So that's why I gave this a 4. I think it's very solid. Like I said, I've said this a couple of times, but I hope it finds its audience, and I think it will. I really do.
Yeah, and I also gave this a 4. This is closer to a 4.5 for me, but it's not quite there. There are definitely some issues with the movie. I'd be curious on a rewatch how I felt about those. And I do think this is a movie I'd be willing to rewatch, which is kind of one of my requirements for a 4 or higher. Is I want to at least want to watch the movie again. If I do or not, we'll see. But the performances, I just can't stress enough. Very similar to Rule of Jenny Penn in that sense. And another movie I had a great time with. It's been a quiet start to 2025 in a lot of ways for horror and just movies overall. But when you're digging a little bit, I think you're able to find some really strong, early first quarter contenders that I think could stick around.
It's so weird that this movie was also, I'm pretty sure it's only released on VOD as well. It's not on streaming. So I think it's worth the rental if you want to see it.
Yeah. But that's going to do it for Abby and I and our special edition on Borderline here. I want to thank you all for joining us. We always have these special editions that pop out whenever. Then Monday, or I should start with Sunday, the first day of the week. And our biggest star at this point, why Liv loves horror, John Maher's adorable daughter is reviewing movies. She's up to 2 right now with Monster House this past week. And she's doing great. So definitely check that out. We have Versus with Will and John still trucking along, reviewing like 150 different Amityville horror movies. Always a good time there. Tuesdays, or I should say Thursdays, is our flagship show where Abby, myself, and John review the newest movie from the previous week. So if you're watching this now, get ready for Opus, the new A24 joint, another one that a lot of people seem to be being harsh on. Did we feel the same? Go ahead and watch. Friday, Why We Love Horror Trivia, 2 horror matches a week. Double champ over here, coming back eventually. But right now we're working on the title pictures, so we are figuring out who her next victim will be. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Also, make sure you check out the Letterboxd challenge, Why We Love Horror Letterboxd challenge of 2025. That's the link right there on Letterboxd. You can catch up now as well. Some really unique categories and a good way to find some movies you might never have watched otherwise. So really a good time there. So just follow that link there. Abby and I thank you for joining us. And we hope you check out Borderline very, very soon because we are in the very minute or minority of positive reviews early on.
Seems like it.
And I think it could be a late riser. So we shall see. But thank you all and have a good night.